sorry, the number you have dialed is not in service at this time.
Welcome to the show. It's Mario Bossy. This is my show, and yeah, you know what? It's Sunday, but that is how I roll. You guys know that's how I do it. I am not going to change. I'm so sorry, because I get so involved now. Like I'm in Portland. There's always something to do. Like, what's funny is when people used to tell me there's always something to do in Chicago, and I would be like, oh, okay. You know, I was like, all right, you telling me. I ain't feeling it. But I will tell you, there is not a weekend that goes by that I'm not doing something. And I love it here. Like, it's got its issues. I don't want to pretend that it doesn't. It does. But in the scheme of things, it keeps you busy. There is always something to do. But welcome, you guys. It is Sunday. Last week I had the days all messed up. Had y'all on Tuesday when it was Wednesday, and today I do recognize that it is Sunday. So I think we have a few new listeners. I think my buddy Johnny Savio might be listening because he asked about the show. So if you are listening, Mr. Savio, welcome to OA Magazine. I told you not to listen. I told you to keep it pure, keep your life pure, keep yourself sane if possible by not listening to this show. I do not encourage people to listen to the show. I mean, great, if I have a great audience, that would be so awesome, but I do try to tell people, don't listen, because I don't want you to be disappointed, because I really do just come here just to talk shit and about my life and complain. It's just what I do. But today I will add things. Today, this weekend, it was so crazy because here's the deal. Let's go here. I saw the movie about 4 or 5 years ago. I saw the movie The Best Exotic Marigold Hotel, and I fell in love with it. And I believe I did a show about it. I'm not 100% sure, but I kind of feel like I touched bases. I touched on the movie a little bit because it had great messages. And I've been living a lot according to what I remember that movie to inspire inside of me. And I love that film. And so I have been waiting for the second portion of that movie, like the part 2 of that movie to come out forever. I've been just waiting for it. And when it was released, it was just like no hoopla. It was just released. And I was just like, is it coming out? Where is it playing? And nothing. So yesterday, out of the clear blue sky, I was like, you know what? I'm so pissed off that movie hasn't been released yet. And I was like, I looked up on Google. I was like, when is this movie coming out? Sure enough, it's playing at the Mission Theater here in Portland. And it was literally, I was going to get a burrito. And it was playing an hour from the moment that I was getting off the bus to get a burrito, and down the street from where I was getting my burrito. And I was like, this is crazy. And for only $4. So I was like, no, this is just the universe speaking. When the universe speaks, listen, y'all. Listen, for real. So I hurry up and ate my burrito, and I walked to the theater. I didn't know where it was, but I was like, I'll find it because it's Portland. Everything's findable here. And I saw it. Now, it wasn't as good as the first one, but the first one was epic to me. And I hate using that word, but it really was. It had a message for me. And at the time, I was with this guy named Grant, who was like 54 years old, who was older than me, but he was all this new gay or whatever, and he was just, and we saw it together, and it meant a lot to us because it was just like we were new, and there were feelings of love, and I don't think it was that kind of love, but there was a definite respect with the ability to love there. but I was moving, so we weren't even trying to get serious because I was moving to Chicago. So it was just like, you know how you just don't, it was the pink elephant, it wasn't the pink elephant, it was just the elephant in the room. So, but anyway, we saw this movie and it inspired us, it enlightened us, it did all this stuff, and I was like, oh my god, it was just brilliant, yada yada yada. And I can't wait for then they mentioned having another one, and it was, here's the deal. So I've been celibate for 4 years, and it's because, I am 100% monogamous. 100%. I've never cheated on any of the people that I was considered a relationship or a boyfriend. Just never did it. It's not something that I'm into. And, I've often said, the kind of love that I can give someone is outdated. It doesn't exist. 100% monogamy I'm not going to say it doesn't exist because I exist, therefore it does exist, but it's not a common practice. It's not something you're going to find every day. It's not something you're going to find once a week. It's not even something you'll probably find in your lifetime, which I'm experiencing. So I said, you know what, I'm done. Like, I moved on. I was like, I won't get involved with men anymore. I won't put myself in the path of finding someone. So I'm done. And it was a hard decision, but it's a decision that was made. And I'm good with it. I'm 100% good with it. Like, I don't even think about it anymore. It's like I'm a vegetarian and I don't think about ever eating a hamburger. It's exactly that same thing. It's like I never think about eating red meat because it's just been something I haven't done in so long that I don't do it. I don't think about it. So I go see this film because it brings alive the thought of love the way that it is written in books and screenplays, and it's the epitome of what I believe love is fictionalized, because it's not really love. It's like, it's the way that love, everyone wants it and hopes it to be. And I'm sure some people have fallen in love with people the way that, you see it on screen or whatever. But it's for the average Joe or Joe said or whatever, it's just not that way. So this movie, I went there expecting to see the part 2 to the first one that I saw, and for all intent and purposes, that is what it was. But I expected to get from it this feeling of I'm watching a part 2. But what it did was it showed love in a whole different sense of love that wasn't sexual necessarily, but love as a respect, as a friend. And because I won't go into it because I want you to see the film. I don't want to discuss it and then you'd be like, have your take, and you'd be like, well, I didn't get that or whatever, because it's not about that. It's about seeing a film that's a good film, but also seeing love fictionalized the way it is through the eyes of the writer. So this writer obviously decided to have multi-dimensional love, and it was typical on-screen romance, which was brilliant, and I loved it. But it also showed love between two characters that remotely liked each other, but on the surface had to show that they didn't. But then there was this love between that same old lady and the dude who ran the hotel, and it showed his love for her. And it was just, oh my god, it was just like, you sit there and you go, and I have tons of friends who have family members who love them and show them all this love, and they have boyfriends, girlfriends who have all this love, and they have kids and they have all this love. But there exists in my life and some people that I know a deficit, if you will, of love, that it's singular in the sense that their point of reference comes from a relationship, and it doesn't come from, like, it's either or. Like, it came from the parent, and it may have come slightly from a love interest, and they may suggest there's a love between a friend. But it is few of us who I think experience love in directional, where you can say that I absolutely loved my parents, and I absolutely had love with my partners, my boyfriends, my girlfriends, and I absolutely have love between my friends, and I have everything I touch, everything I do, all of my encounters are done on a level of love that you fictionalize and fantasize about. And it's just it just brought something to my table, which is, wow, how awesome would life be if every person you encountered with intent, you were able to have this intensified love to the point where you're just like, I'm so happy to be with this person, I'm so enjoying this life, this spirit has brought something to my life where it's like, I love this is so amazing. And it's like, it's what movies and scripts and books are written about. Like, you just go, who are the people that get to experience that? And I had to ask myself, how many directions of love have I experienced in my lifetime? And I will say that I had parental love, because my mother and I had an amazing love for each other. I have not had relationship love. I had it singular. I had it one direction where I gave it, but I never got it back. And friend love, I've experienced, and I am experienced. I have April, I have Dawn, I have Derek, my probably my only male friend. That's it. I mean, my friends have dwindled, obviously, because, if you're following the show, I'm not very popular, and I don't hold on to friends very well. But, those are older friends. But then I also have the type of friendships that are newer that I enjoy too, that I love. I love my children. And I say that because I do have 2 children. I have Liz and Cal, who I love. Like, I love them. Those are like my kids. And I love them. And I could say that mutually it's a love too, because I would say that, we had to grow into a respect for one another, but it took a minute, but it wasn't instant. It took a minute. But I'm talking about the fictional love I've only had with one friend who we're no longer friends. So it kind of negates that my question, my own, semi-rhetorical question. And I just go, who is the person, or who are the people that get to experience fictional love? And I call it fictional love, and because it's fictional to me. Like, I shouldn't call it fictional love per se, because I'm sure someone has experienced it, but I can't say that I have personally had the fireworks, the whole, like, I've had it, but it was delusional. Like, it really was delusional. It wasn't real. It was fake, because I was the only one feeling it, and it would be awesome to be able to say that I've had that kind of experience, to the point, and maybe I'm being way too general. So let's open it up just a bit, because I want to explain the kind of fictional love that I'm talking about, to the point where you're making statements, you're moving across countries, you become infatuated with moments, you become infatuated with songs and what they mean, and dance sequences, slow-mo scenes. I mean, sharing food, having, marriage, the whole, like, all of that, like, that kind of love, the kind of love that songs, they mean something off, to each other. You're like, oh, that's our song, or, a level of jealousy that you don't want that person to ever go away or talk to other people. I don't know, just like that major over-the-top love. Like, I don't know what that feels like, and it's like, I know I never will, but it's like, does it even really exist, that Disney kind of love?